Hello everybody, I am Ron Baker and I am here to give a hint about two very exciting events that are about to take place in December 2020. After a year of so much challenge and interruption for people all over the world, I think we can all use a little bit of good news at the moment. So the two events that I'm going to be focusing on are on Monday, December 14. It's a full solar eclipse. And whether you understand what that means or not, by the time you've watched this quick video, you'll have a much better idea how this will impact you, impact your body, impact your life, particularly if you decide to tune in and set some intentions for connecting to the energy. The second event is Monday, December 21st, when a really rare configuration of planets is coming together. Now I want to say for a second, I'm planning a meditation that I would love for you to join on Monday, December 21st. That day is called the Solstice. It is a time on the planet, depending on whether you're in the southern or northern hemisphere on the planet, that you either move into the shortest days or the longest days. Back and forth, this is the yearly cycle that we go through. This end of cycles, beginning of a new cycle, is going to take place with a rare configuration of planets. Now, you do not have to understand energy, how it works. For instance, you don't have to understand electricity to know that if you plug something into the wall, you are impacted in your space. A light turns on, various appliances turn on. So yes, we are impacted by energy, not only the energy in the wall, but the energy of each other. If you walk into a room that is full of angry people, you are impacted by that energy. If you walk into a room that is full of open, loving people, you are impacted by that energy. So I say these things in simple, practical ways because this solar eclipse and this coming together of these two planets, the two largest planets in our solar system, will impact you energetically. And so I want to give you very clear, practical understanding how that will impact your body and how you can take advantage of these opportunities to connect with the energies and set some very powerful new intentions into place. Most of us will admit we need, after this year of challenges, we need some new directions. Most of us will admit that the whole planet needs conscious, nurturing intentions that set us on a trajectory for more fulfilling solutions, for more fulfilling experiences that serve the good of the whole. That is why I'm doing this video. So please go to my website, ronbaker.net, and on the home page you'll see a little button for clicking and signing up to be a part of the meditation on Monday, December 21st. So for now, let's focus on the first of these events, which is happening Monday, December 14. A full solar eclipse, the only full solar eclipse of the entire year. What does that mean? How are we impacted? Well, rather than focusing on the fact that a full solar eclipse equals the Earth, which is usually connected directly to the light of the sun, becomes blocked from the light of the sun by the moon. We have a new moon on this day. And this new moon is going to come through and block the energy of the sun from hitting the earth. How is that impacting us? Well, the simplest way I can say it is our body is a microcosmic or a small model example of the energies that are out in the universe. You've heard as above, so below, perhaps. This is what it means. Our bodies are a reflection of the energies of the heavens. If we look into the tiny parts of our bodies and study cells and atoms, we will find out the same thing is true. No matter what level of life, the same flow of energy, positive and negative pull and flow of energy, is what is attempting to take place. So a full solar eclipse involves the sun, the moon, and the earth. So if you consider the earth is the physical world we live in, now just imagine your earth is your physical body. The body is divided into 3 segments energetically. The lower part of the body, up to the solar plexus, is called the subconscious mind. This middle segment, the heart center, is the conscious mind. The throat all the way up through the top of the head is called the superconscious mind. So in this case, the sun connects as the heart chakra of our universe, the heart center, where the brightest light and potential connects the 2 pieces, lower self, higher self. The sun radiates and opens here in the heart center. The moon represents the subconscious. This is where we hold our emotional and survival levels of self. So let's just focus on the emotional for a second. Have you ever heard that statement that in a full moon people get particularly emotional? Well, imagine how full the moon is depends on how much of it is accessible to the light of the sun. Full moon is when the sun hits the whole moon without the earth blocking it. And when we have a new moon, it's when that light does not appear, does not hit directly the light of the sun, of the moon. So if the sun is here and the moon is here in the emotional part of our bodies, how much light is able to penetrate into the subconscious is what determines the darkness of the new moon and the fullness and brightness of the full moon. So at a full moon, the subconscious is the most open and illuminated. Therefore, people are particularly emotional during this open phase in our bodies. You see how directly we are impacted by the movements of these large bodies in the heavens? We are a reflection, our energies connected to that. So now, we have the sun here in the conscious mind. We have the moon here in the subconscious mind. When an eclipse takes place, specifically a solar eclipse, it equals the moon and the sun align directly, and the physical body is blocked from the light of the sun. So the subconscious, what we are holding inside in our emotional patterns, becomes the main focus, and the sun is hitting that, and this is an interruption in our lives. We do not have any light from this heart chakra sun hitting directly at us. It is eclipsed for a moment. Just like when you have something plugged in and your appliances are working, if there's a surge or an interruption in the energy, everything in your house goes off. When that happens, the clocks all do this. They lose the programming that they had set. This is exactly what can take place here. So you have to go back and reset the clock because of the interruption of energy flow. So now, imagine you go through the habits and routines of your life, not even having to be conscious of what your patterns are, but this pattern of flow is taking place. And then all of a sudden, when the sun and the moon align, it blocks and cuts off the habitual flow. And it's like our nervous systems do this and want to be reprogrammed. Well, if we stay in habitual, we're just going to put it right back where it was and go on with our lives, and we miss the opportunity. The opportunity is taking some time to decide. Let's just look at everything you've learned from this year in this pandemic. The interruption where we've had so much more time to be with ourselves and whoever we're living with. What have you learned about you? Are you discovering some of your choices serve you really well, and you're so glad that you have established healthy communication with the people in your life, and you're so glad that your life is in balance, how much time you put into work and how much time you put into rest and pleasure, how much time, you get the point? What did you discover about what is working well in your habitual? And what did you reevaluate that might not be working so well? Oh my God, we argue all the time. We go into the same habit and I can't even remember 3 days later what the argument was about, but it's just a part of our habits. Well, how about this? When this interruption takes place and you need to reprogram yourself, it's a time to say, let me be prepared with some awareness of what choices I'm ready to let go of. So it's like, yeah, I don't like that lamp anymore, so I'm going to unplug that so when the lights come back on, I can just get rid of that lamp. It's no longer plugged in. Same thing with our patterns. If we don't like some of our habitual, we can literally choose and be ready to let go, but it is crucial if you're going to let go of a pattern from the inside that you also replace it. So let's talk about communication. If you're fighting and arguing all the time, you might need some tools about communication. You might need to get some help so that you set yourself up for a different learning curve that takes you to a higher level of life. That's just one example. Maybe you're discovering that, oh my gosh, I put all my time and energy into work, and I realize people are more important, and I want to make sure that I create my new program to include more balance. The bottom line is, when this full solar eclipse takes place, the alignment that blocks and creates an interruption, if we literally take the time to set an intention, to meditate, to have prepared for what we are ready to begin to practice, and you also create some step-by-step things that you can do to begin to activate the new, then you won't go back to the old habitual hamster wheel. You'll move into some new cycles that set you up so much better. This will not magically happen. If you just habitually do nothing, you will eventually reset the clock back to the old hamster wheel. The solar eclipse on the 14th is the first opportunity of two. If you begin to set some intention and practice reaffirming your new choices, interrupting the old choices when they show up. Nope, not doing that anymore. I'm doing this instead. I'm going to reach out for help instead. I'm going to apply some new tools instead. If you do that, When you reach this second event on Monday, December 21st, you can come to the meditation that I'm going to lead on Facebook Live. And you can literally learn how to plug into a much bigger cycle shift, a very rare cycle shift that hasn't taken place in hundreds of years. I'm going to explain about that in another video, and I'm going to explain about that much more fully on Monday, December 21st. So these are my initial hints about the energetic boosts that will come and support letting go, opening to what you consciously choose as a set of priorities that matter to you. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at my website, ronbaker.net. I so look forward to sharing more of this and to going through the experience with you, nurturing you a step at a time through that meditation. So do me a favor, please share this video. Share the information about what's happening on December 21st. You can already get some more nuggets at my blog on the website, ronbaker.net. I so look forward to becoming proactive in the solutions that are needed in our lives and in our world. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again soon. Be good to you.